Hi, it's Dr. Davis. Welcome to the words of A. Davis Smith. Today we're discussing that we're all dating wrong. Time to light them up. Let's get it started. So in this video entitled We're All Dating Wrong, we're going to talk a little bit about the world of dating and why so many folks are approaching it in the wrong way. So this is a four-part video series that's going to cover the following things. We're going to talk a little bit about the true difference between dating and a relationship, something that a lot of folks get confused, the difference between a relationship and dating. We're also going to talk about the actual purpose of dating, something that people often get wrong. Also, why are we dating? What is the purpose of dating? We're going to offer a new set of dating approaches that we should consider when dating that looks at matching seriousness level of relationship to financial commitment and sexual interaction. So once again, balancing, how serious the relationship is versus what we're giving in the relationship. And then lastly, I'll make some suggestions for us to get more out of our dating experiences, factoring in the other things that we should be looking at. So once again, what we're doing wrong as we're dating. Because clearly, when we're talking about dating, there has to be a better way. So many folks are dissatisfied or running, screaming from the concept of dating or the idea of dating. So there's clearly a lot going wrong in the dating world. There's a lack of data that shows that Black relationships are in trouble, and it's due to a lot of factors. A lot of things are going on to affect this, but I think it's largely because the wrong people are getting involved with each other, and we're not doing a good enough job of figuring out who's right for us and who's wrong for us. There's not enough due diligence. Folks aren't really putting in the work to figure out compatibility, and so these things I think are resulting in a lot of bad relationships that end up in bad marriages. Dating relationships are not the same thing, although people regularly use them interchangeably. So people will say dating, relationship, I'm dating a relationship, as though they're the same thing, and they really aren't. So we're going to talk a little bit about clarity about those concepts and make sure we are all on the same page when we're talking about dating or relationships. And then the amount of time that you spend in any of the particular stages of the dating or relationship cycle should be fixed and mutually agreed upon. Both people in the relationship should be on the same page about what's going on. There's a conversation that's had that says, we are this, we are girlfriend, boyfriend, we are just dating, you are my fiance. Once again, there needs to be a common understanding and common agreement about what phase of the dating cycle that we're in, or relationship cycle that we're in. So once again, make sure there's clarity and mutual agreement. So, as kind of the core premise of this video, most people are dating wrong, because there's a failure of a sincere effort to get to really know each other throughout the cycle, throughout the relationship cycle. So there isn't a lot of genuine give and take, genuine sharing of information that allow each other to make an informed decision about whether or not we are compatible with each other. Some men are consistently giving women the wife treatment related to financial access too soon in a relationship cycle. So once again, men are treating women that they're dating as though they're the wives. And there's an expectation from some women that they should get this wife treatment, although it's an early date. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. Once again, there's a disconnect between the level of relationship that we're in and the expected or given financial gifts that are shared at a particular level. And once again, these things are happening as early as the first date, which is crazy to me. And then we're also going to talk about how some women are consistently giving men the husband treatment related to sexual access too soon in a relationship cycle. So once again, they're giving them husband goodies early on in the relationship. Once again, as soon as the first date. And it doesn't really align with their level the level of sexual access that they're giving to these men doesn't really align with where they are in the relationship cycle. There's a huge disconnect, and there's a huge flaw in expending financial or sexual resources, a huge flaw in giving so much of yourself either financially or sexually, in a way that exceeds where you actually are in the relationship. And so there really needs to be a better understanding of where we are and a more appropriate giving of items of value to the other person to make sure it's in alignment with where we are in the relationship cycle. So we're going to talk a little bit about, dating, how it is versus how it should be. So, there are problems with current dating, how we currently date, how we approach the dating process. And so current dating is primarily about impression management. There's more of a focus in dating on, I'm going to impress you. I'm going to show off for you. I'm going to wow you with the greatness that is me. And in doing so, I'm going to win you over. And so, there's a tendency to show off, or misrepresent self, all in an attempt to impress you. Impression management is the concept that we talk about in terms of manipulating how you perceive me, how you look at me in a way that may not be consistent with how I really am. And that's how current dating is. It's a big show on the front end. And then, how it should be more like you conducting a job interview where you're trying to spend all your time learning whether or not the candidate, the person that you're considering, is an appropriate fit for you. So it shouldn't be about trying to impress the person. It should be about trying to screen this person, getting as much information from this person that you can get in order to make a determination about whether or not there should be another date. And that's the purpose of dating. Dating is about making a determination by the end of this date as to whether or not there should be another date. And that doesn't happen. And so that's the mindset shift that we need to have when we date. It's about figuring you out and seeing if you're worth my time. And so once again, there's a desperate need for recalibrating how we're thinking about dating and romantic relationships. And so to do this, I want to suggest a couple of approaches that may help in this regard in terms of really, really qualifying the appropriateness of giving at any particular relationship cycle level. So that's what we're going to talk about.